Welcome back. Darren Walker, the outgoing president of the Ford Foundation, has released a new book, The Idea of America, Reflections on Inequality, Democracy, and the Values We Share. It's a collection of 97 essays and speeches, as well as you might gather, reflections, many of which have never been published before. And they highlight Walker's goal of narrowing divisions among Americans. I sat down with him recently, and here's part of our conversation. You write about yourself, and it flows through the book. I've lived on both sides of the line of inequality. What do you mean by that?
Well, my life is in many ways the idea of America realized. I was born in a charity hospital to a single mother. I never knew my father. As a little boy, we lived in a little shotgun shack on a dirt road in rural East Texas. But I believed that my country believed in me. And that belief helped propel me forward, living in a country that in many ways cheered me on and made possible my getting on the mobility escalator, a good education, working hard, sacrificing, allowed me to, in spite of some of the challenges I faced, to find myself now at 66, living a very different life. Living a life of the American dream as a kid who grew up in poverty, who in many ways was allowed to dream as a little boy in this country that believed in me, and those dreams became true. And I think what I worry about and what I want for America today is for little boys and girls, whether they are black or white or brown, rural or urban, to dream and to feel that they live in a country that is cheering them on and wants them to succeed. That's the country I grew up in.
And you rose to one of the pinnacles of American and international philanthropy, certainly American philanthropy. How did your experiences as that child you're describing and that upward escalator inform the ideas, perspectives, and decisions you made in the philanthropic world?
Well, I have a book called The Generosity to Justice, my first book. And in that book, it encapsulates the words of Dr. Martin Luther King about philanthropy. He says the following: philanthropy is commendable, but it shouldn't allow the philanthropist to overlook the economic injustice which makes philanthropy necessary. And so I was thinking about his words as I took the helm of the Ford Foundation. And what he was saying was, don't overlook the reasons, the underlying reasons people are in poverty or have poor health or find themselves disadvantaged in some way, that those reasons are often things that society does to them, not because they are bad people, but because they lose their job or because they have no health insurance. And so how do we, as philanthropists, address those underlying issues? And so for wealthy people, the challenge is to interrogate our own contributions. You know, we say we want to contribute to reducing poverty. All right, well, are we doing anything to contribute to that problem?
And as part of that interrogation, did you or the people you rubbed up against at the Ford Foundation struggle with the idea that that very core inequality is what provides the wherewithal to make donations, philanthropically and otherwise?
There's no doubt that there are contradictions in philanthropy. One becomes wealthy and then is challenged, is charged with fixing the problems of the poor. And this is commendable. I mean, American philanthropy is unlike philanthropy anywhere in the world. There are no societies as generous as Americans. But we have to understand what is happening in our country today. Far too many people are being left behind. We have a crisis of hope, and hope is the oxygen of democracy. So our work in philanthropy has to be, how do we bring more hope to the communities we are charged to work in? How do we fulfill our mission to reduce poverty, to ensure there is more justice and more fairness and more opportunity in our country.